What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Locked on Sharks, the only podcast that has William Eklund on it and the premier hockey podcast covering your favorite team in the Bay Area. Full disclosure, we are recording this 12 hours after we did the William Eklund interview, same day. So we are jazzed. Please go listen to that. Jazz, yeah, JD Jazz. I can't speak. JD to Jazz Hands. Do that 5 times fast. JD to Jazz Hands.
JD to Jazz Hands. Yeah.
You guys all say a lot of jizz and stuff like that. We're gonna be fired up. If we get sidetracked a lot, please don't hold it against us. At corporate, if this is the episode you decided to listen to, please go back and listen to our interview with William Eklund. It's so much better. He's the number one prospect not in the NHL. Just go. We did that. Please don't hold this one against us. If you haven't listened to it, go check it out. We're obviously super pumped that William came on the show. Shout out to everybody that made it possible. You know who you are. And also Locked on Sharks. Locked on Sharks memes. William Eklund approved.
Mm-hmm. Can confirm.
You're Locked on Sharks, your daily podcast on the San Jose Sharks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
I would like to point out that after we were done recording with William, we did ask him, like, have you seen the memes? Like, we're sorry. And he says, yes, he has seen them all. And he really liked the Teletubby one. That is straight from the man's mouth, which is like 65% embarrassing, 35% kind of cool. Because he's 19 and I'm 32. So, and JD's 70. So,
yes,
I'm just going to keep aging you up until it gets too fantastical. Then I'll de-age you again. I'm your host, Kyle Demetrius. Back with me, as always, is my co-host, JD. The lingonberries to my Swedish meatballs.
Perfect together.
Everybody wants that.
Everybody wants that.
We're here to talk about, well, we're going to recap the Avalanche game, and here's the recap in 30 seconds. Ready? 3 seconds. The Sharks suck. They were bad.
They were very bad.
Everybody was coming back from COVID, so we said we weren't going to hold it against them, but boy, did they look like a team that had never played hockey before.
And Colorado is, last time I checked, a cup contender, even though they've gotten off to a poor start. And if you do make mistakes, they're going to capitalize on it. So, yeah,
there were some troubling trends that started in the Winnipeg game, but I mean, by our own admission, we're giving them a couple games to get their sea legs under them. So we're just going to fly. No, before we fly into the Wild preview, I would like to point out that the Vlasic Šimek pair, we got to stop trying to make fetch happen here. I don't know what the breaking point is, but at some point you got to do something.
It's so brutal.
It's not a good combination of players. Individually, they're clearly not cut out for the roles that they have. I'm sure if you could put them with somebody that could maybe get something out of Vlasic or Šimek and something, that would be good. But together as a unit, please no.
They're bad. Yeah, they're bad together. It's
like that guy that keeps going back to his ex-girlfriend over and over again. You're just like, guy, she cheated on you. She hates you. But he's like, oh, yeah, but I just love this for some reason.
This time.
But me, yeah. Or the Tobias Funke. It has never worked before for many people that tried it, but for us, maybe it could work.
Maybe it could work. Yeah.
It's just not. They got to do something.
Yeah, I think Hadaka should be coming back in full strength right now because, yeah, you can't have those two guys together. They're just like...
The problem is that it's not like they're like a net zero or they do some good stuff. They're a hindrance on the team, and that's the problem. And you can't really break them up because you have your top four. At least like Hataka makes mistakes, but at least he's giving you something different, and you're not banging your head against the wall, running out the same defensive pairs every single time. Yeah. That's our whole thrust of the conversation here is that do something different to see if you can find any kind of juice.
And who knows, maybe Vlasic will just see somebody wearing 61 and he'll be like, oh, dude, Braun's back and let's go. So it'll just turn back the clock.
Oh, that makes me sad. Oh, poor Justin Braun. They should bring Justin Braun back just for the shits and gigs. Just get the band back together. Trade for all the ex-Sharks just to figure out what happened.
Michael Haley, you're out of retirement. Come back from this. You know what?
Okay, no, we've taken this joke too far.
He's coaching on the Sting right now. He's a coach there or something like that.
Yeah, good for him. We never when we talk about players and they're bad and stuff like that, we don't dislike them as a human being, other than Evander Kane. And people like Semyon,
Jeremy
Slava Voinov. Yeah. Other than bad people, but like if they're just a regular hockey player and we say they're bad, we don't hate them. We just are talking in terms of their hockey skill. So
yes.
Michael Haley was not what we wanted, but good for him for coaching now. Congrats to him. Don't coach Ben Gaudreau. Please stay away. But that's not what we're here for. Let's talk Minnesota Wild, who are
good.
You're goddamn good.
Yes.
No question needed. No question mark on the end of your statement needed. The Minnesota Wild got off to 10-4.
But like, I don't, because their
you don't get it. Nobody does.
Their stats, like, okay, so like their power play percentage, they're 18th in the league.
T19 on the score.
Yeah, penalty kill, 23rd. Goals for 8th, but the goals allowed like 20th. So they just get into track meets with people, and they're just gonna we're just gonna outscore you, and there's nothing you can do about it right now.
Yeah, so they played 14 games, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So this is their goal scored going backwards. 2, 3, 6, 4, 2, 3, 1, 1. That was a little down. But then they came back 5, 5, 5, 5, 2, 4. Like they're just, the defense is going to get caved in, right?
Yeah, this is not. I have a kind of a bad feeling about this for the Sharks, just because we talked about who was, I think it was Calgary, but even though Calgary won that game, but like where do the Sharks have the advantage in this game, right? Because like the top line is really good with Kaprizov, and they've on the line.
Got off to a slow start. They're doing this in spite of his slow start.
Yeah, but he's started to heat up now.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for that, what's made the Wild so good right now is their third line of Greenway, Hartman, and Pitlick. Hartman is leading the team in points, and he also has 7 goals, which is leading the team. Pitlick just scored a hat trick the other night. Like, that third line is probably, if the Sharks can contain the third line, if the Bonino line can contain that third line, then the Sharks got a chance in this. But the way that Bonino line has been playing right now, I'm a little worried about it.
Let's pay some bills before we get into it.
Yeah. So let's talk about our friends over at DirecTV Stream. Does this sound familiar to you? You've got one device that lets you catch the game live. Another lets you stream your favorite shows. You watch watching sports highlights on your phone. You got your neighbor's best friends log in for the good stuff. Well, I want to tell you about a simple way to get all that entertainment you love without the hassle, and a great way to finally get your TV together. It's called DirecTV Stream, and it brings your live TV and on-demand favorites together like never before. So you can watch your favorite sports, movies, and shows all in one place. That means no more juggling remotes, no need to buy another device ever again, and the best part, there's no annual contract. So get rid of the clutter and the confusion and get your TV together with DirecTV Stream. You can learn more at directtv.com. That's directtv.com. Compatible devices required. Content varies by package.
So the forward lines breakdown is Kaprizov, Frederic Gaudreau, Matt Zuccarello. Don't be shocked when you learn these lines and question why are they 10-4, because we do the same thing. So Kaprizov, Frederic Gaudreau, Matt Zuccarello, then Marcus Foligno, Joel Eriksson Ek, Kevin Fiala, which is a great line.
That's the second line's great, yeah.
Yeah, Greenway, Ryan Hartman, Rem Pitlick, which is just an elite Alabama name. That's some deep South JD's heritage shit right there. And then you've got Brandon Duhaime, Nico Sturm, Nick Bjugstad. Just a lot of dudes. Like
Kaprizov.
Dudes.
Yeah, Kaprizov's really good. Like Joel Eriksson Ek is good too. Yep. But there's not like a bunch of guys where if you're like picking, teams, you're not like, oh, dude, I need to have that guy on my team or whatever. Mm-hmm. So, but they're playing really good hockey right now, and they're just scoring a bunch of goals. And the Sharks, who have been having trouble kind of consistently creating offense, it's a little worrisome going into this game, especially so because they've kind of moved away from their identity past couple games. So it'll be interesting to see if they can kind of go back to what they've been, a heavy forechecking team and kind of cycle the puck type of team that the Sharks want to be right now.
Yeah, because Bugner even said after the Colorado game that 5 minutes in, they were getting away from their game plan and who they were and stuff like that. So it'll be concerning if they keep doing that because, again, we've talked about this stretch of games being so devastating, and it doesn't let up with Minnesota. The Calgary win was nice, but you lose to the Jets, who are worse than Calgary, then you get smoked by the Avalanche, and now you go roll right into a game against the Wild. It's going to be tough, and especially their team that hasn't been scoring. The defense is Alex Goligoski, Jared Spurgeon, which is awesome, Jonas Brodin, Matthew Dumba, which is good, and John Merrill and Dmitry Kulikov, which is going to be good. That's not ideal. And then the goalie, Cam Talbot's playing really, really well. And I think Capo Kakinen's only played like 1 game or 2 games.
He's played 3, and he's kind of off to a slow start.
So if they get Kakinen, that will like really help them. But if they get Cam Talbot, it's going to be, once again, when we previewed the Flames game, it's not that going back and looking at it, they want to be like, oh, you guys are so stupid. That would be the wrong way to do it. They played an excellent game and they did the things they had to. They have to play the perfect game again against Minnesota. That's the problem, is that when you play these Minnesotas, Calgary's, Colorado's, Tampa's, previously Vegas, until they figure their shit out, you got to play the perfect game when you're the San Jose Sharks, because you're just not on their level yet. And like you said, the Greenway, Hartman, Pitlick line is going to be really good, and it's their third line. And I think you said that the only person with a 5v5 point on the third line in San Jose is Matt Nieto.
Yeah, I think that was Kevin Kurtz tweeted that out over the weekend. But yeah, that line right there has been kind of bad, to be honest. And I don't know if, Nieto, like, what's the solution there? Maybe, because you would think
Nieto's got to go.
Yeah.
But what if you take Rudy and put him on the third line and put LeBanc on the second line?
You could, but then I still feel like you're kind of like, who's also going to play with Bonino? So I guess it'd be like Gadovich or Nick Merkley up there with Bonino and
Rudy.
So, but you
got to do something.
I still like the LeBanc on that third line to try to help provide some offense. I just think that,
but they just haven't. That's the problem.
That's the problem. Yeah.
How many games do you go without them providing what you want them to provide? Right?
Yeah.
I don't know what's the solution, because I think Barabanov has acquitted himself really well, and I think he deserves to be on the second line with Tomas Hertl. Obviously, Meyer, Couture, Dahlin, which we now know how to say it.
Yes.
Also, he called him Dolly, which is funny. Like the sheep. Is that a joke that people will get?
I don't know. Maybe we get it because we're old. So,
yeah. Dolly the sheep was the first ever cloned animal.
Yeah.
Sheep in the 90s.
I think I was in like 5th grade when that was like 95, 96, somewhere around there. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, something like that.
But yeah, I mean,
I think Barabanov should stay with Hertl, obviously, and he provides offense as well. But then they got to do something. Like, I just don't know. I don't know what you do, because I don't think Cogliano would go up. But do you want Gajojevic up there? Do you want? I guess Nick Merkley would be.
I would probably, if it was me, if we're gonna do the LeBanc on the second line, then maybe Rudy, Bonino, Nick Merkley. I'm just worried about the finishing on that line there. But if they
don't have finishing now.
Yeah, they don't have finish. I mean, LeBanc supposedly should provide some finishing, but like, I think with those guys, because I like the way Gajojevic has played so far, and I like Nick Merkley. Like, Nick Merkley's had like 3 points in since he's been called up. I think that they can help, at least if you're driving offense, and then maybe like you have Burns or Carlson playing, on the defense there, then maybe you can help to try to score that way. But yeah, they just need to not get caved in. That's the biggest matchup, I think, is that third line, especially when you don't have the change. If that line just could get crushed.
And I don't even know if they're gonna put the third line against the third line. I don't. This is the problem. I don't want to see any of the top 3 lines in Minnesota go against the third line, because it's been a little sketchy. I think the Sharks really are going to need. Meyer got another point as soon as he came back, which is hilarious.
That's what he does. Yes.
But they're going to need Meyer, Couture, Dahlin to really, really shoulder this load and step up and get back to the way they were before the COVID stuff hit, which I think they will. I think it'll take a game to get adjusted, but I think we need to see from them a Calgary, an early season like adjustment early in the game. Otherwise, this could go south pretty bad.
Yeah, and I'm expecting Reimer to play, but yeah, we don't need like a 20 shot attempts or shots on goal in the second period, and it's just Reimer basically bailing you out like we saw with Hill in the Calgary game. Like Reimer can play, Reimer's played really, really well this season, but like that's not a record, that's not a good way to have success in and especially the way the Wild play, where they do want to get into a track meet. Do you think it's best to just try to go toe for toe with them goals wise? And because you do have scores when Couture and Dahlin and Hurdle and Barabanov can chip in and Timo. Like, do you think the Sharks, if it does get into a track meet, do you like their chances or
no? The Wild's last 6 games, they've scored 5, 5, 5, 5, 2, 4. Have the Sharks even scored 5 goals in a game?
Yeah, against Buffalo.
Great. So the Sharks last little games 2-1. Oh, they scored 4 against Calgary, but 2 of them were empty netters, I think, right?
Yes.
So 2-1, 2, 2 and 2, 3. Then they scored 5 on November 2nd. They're just not. And then before that, they had 2, then 0, then 1, then 3. Like the Sharks' offense clearly isn't in the same zip code as the Minnesota Wild, possibly not even in the same continent. That's concerning.
Kyle, if you're feeling confident in the outcome of this game, where could you bet on it?
BetOnline.ag.
And why would you want to go to BetOnline.ag?
They pay our bills. But they're also back and better than ever because they have a new web interface for the start of the hockey basketball seasons. More props, more odds, more lines than they've ever had before. BetOnline remains your number one spot for all your sports action this season. Head to the new updated desktop or mobile website to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use the promo code LOCKEDON, which is right below us if you're watching. It's spelled LOCKEDON if you're listening. To receive your bonus from basketball, football, hockey, boxing, UFC, footy, cricket, favorite Vegas casino games, whatever. Go check it out. See if they have it. Don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts. So we thinking Reimer?
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be Reimer. Even though I know Bob said he wanted someone to kind of take the mantle and ride the hot hand. But, I thought Hill played pretty well, even though he gave up 4 goals or 5 goals or whatever it was. But, none of them I was like, oh, that was a bad goal on Hill. They were just, you're playing Colorado and they can just.
But he wasn't great.
He wasn't great, but none of them. I didn't feel like he had a particularly bad game, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
like he wasn't saying because the team played bad, but he wasn't like, oh. It
wasn't like Martin Jones where it's like, well, the team was sunk and then they just played bad after that. No, I think that's fair. I just don't know. They've been alternating. I don't see why you'd stop it right now.
Yeah,
but I guess Hill put up 37 saves against Calgary and then they went back to Reimer, right?
Yep.
So what the hell is Bob talking about?
Well, Bob
shouldn't he have ridden that hot hand?
I think going into that, the plan was like Hill Reimer. They kind of announced that beforehand, and Bob wasn't actually coaching then.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Anybody that thinks that Bob wasn't coaching that team other than the 60 minutes during the game is a fool. He was 100% coaching the team and made lineup decisions and everything.
Do you think they had the little the iPad on a stick or something like that so you could watch practice?
For sure. Why wouldn't he? Maybe if he's not watching
the little practice. Robot iPad.
Yeah. Even if he's not specifically watching the practice, he's immediately jumping on a call after practice and stuff like that, and they're talking about stuff. So he was always hands on. There's no way he wasn't. Do you think we see a bounce back for the COVID guys to kind of get? Because how did they look on Saturday? They looked kind of tired, right?
They looked kind of tired. They looked, they looked like sloppy, and they hadn't played real hockey in 2 weeks, and then also add in the altitude thing with being in Denver, which is especially when you've had COVID and that affects your lungs as it is, and then let me throw the altitude thing on there too. So yeah, I expect those guys to kind of be back to somewhat normal now. Timo looked pretty good, I thought. You saw him doing Timo things, but I'd like to see kind of Carlson and, that Carlson-Middleton line kind of get back to form. But, yeah.
I think it should be said, too, that Dean Evason, the coach of the Minnesota Wild, seems like he's a pretty damn good coach.
Yeah.
I don't know why they gave the coach of the year to Brindamore last year when the Wild were supposed to be dead to rights and were pretty good. And then this year again, if the Wild
Because if they didn't, could you imagine how annoying the Hurricanes social media would have been if they didn't give it to him?
Just try 30% less, not even 14% less. Just try a little bit less, guys. It's not that hard. Just try. It's like the Paul Rudd in Forgetting Sarah Marshall, and he's like, do less. No, do a little bit more. No, do less. You're doing too much. It's like that. Just do a little bit less. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a tough haul, but we said this against Calgary, and they ended up winning. But you got to be realistic about going in. If you're a betting man or something like that,
what's the path?
Not. Same thing they did against Calgary,
where you basically kind of get up early and park the bus and hope that Reimer or Hill or just can bail you out.
You've got to jump on them early, score an early goal so that they're chasing the game. Which I mean, like this sounds like you say this for every game, but you've really just got to try to pop a couple in early. Otherwise, they have this goal scoring potential, as we've seen. They've been on a heater that they're going to be able to score. So if you don't bank those early, it's going to be tough to come back, especially for a Sharks team that's had trouble scoring and finishing. If they can be up like 2 or 3 goals halfway through the second period, I think that is going to lend itself to more success. Obviously, I know I'm not groundbreaking. That's going to be like every hockey game.
If you score more goals,
but like if they're playing Vancouver and it's 1-1 heading into the third period, I'm still like, great. The Sharks have a great chance of winning. Yeah. If they're heading in 1-1 against Minnesota this third period, I'm going to be like, well, the dam's probably going to break for Minnesota eventually. It's going to be tough, but I think they just need to they need to simplify their game and just go back to what they're doing at the beginning of the season and try not to chase Minnesota around.
Yeah,
it's going to be bad because you're going to get tired as well. And all these guys are coming off COVID. Just make the easy passes, get to the front of the net again like you were before, and get those shots all concentrated in the middle like they were before. And I think that'll be the path to success. And then hope that Kaapo Kähkönen plays.
Yeah. I mean, even like Talbot's been okay. He's like a 908 save percentage, and Kaapo Kähkönen is like 882. Ugh. But I think the Sharks do have an advantage though on the special teams, where, like I said, the Sharks power play, is operating at 22%, and the Wild's penalty kills that operating at 77%. So I know the Sharks have been really bad at drawing penalties the past couple of games, where they've just been giving. That's one thing, they can't just keep giving up penalties like they have the past couple of games. But yeah, if you get on the power play and take advantage of that, I think that'll help. And like you said, I think we need to see that Sharks forecheck, which has been so good at early in the season at dumping it in and then just getting the puck back and being relentless about it, and then making the Wild play defense. Because I mean, their defense
it really started against the Blues.
Yeah, their defense is good, but like this team, the Wild, they just want to run and gun. And if you're try to kind of slow it down and play that, cycling the puck and keeping them kind of bored, I think that's where your chance to succeed is. So
yeah, play keep away from the team that scored 5, 10, 15, 20, 24, like 26 goals over the last like 6 games.
Yes.
Just try to play keep away. And it started against the Blues, where we said that you can't be sloppy, and when you dump it in, you got to get the puck back to gain some time, because the Blues will transition the hell out of you and go back the other way. And we saw that with Tarasenko and stuff. And it's carrying over to the Jets, where they're not playing that the way they were earlier in the season when they're winning games. And it's coming back against Colorado, where they just full system meltdown. They got to get back to what they're doing, and it's going to suck for the first couple of games with the COVID's coming back, but it's really all you got to do. And I don't think anybody really expects them to win this game. But if they really want to try to push for some playoffs, if that's still their goal and everything like that, they got to get a couple wins out of this road trip, because it's tough. And then they have, like, on the back end, they still have Carolina and Washington and Toronto and stuff like that.
At home. So yeah, the coming home is still tough. Yeah. So.
Yeah, exactly. And especially the Ducks have won 7 in a row. The Flames are good. The Oilers are good.
The Kings are good.
Eventually the Kings have been good. Yeah. The Knights will eventually figure it out. Vancouver is shite. And the Kraken are bad. So that's nice. but you don't want to be the third worst team in the division. You might as well just go all the way. So it's gonna be an interesting game for the
Sharks,
for the Sharkies.
I think they come out.
I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, I could tell. I think they come out and play pretty well. I think they're going to lose though 4-3. I think we see the offense get back on track a little bit, but they're going to be just not enough firepower to keep up with the Wild.
I'll go 4-1 Wild.
4-1 Wild. Oh,
yeah.
Poor offense. So Brent Burns is going to score a goal because that's all he does is just score ridiculous goals against the Wild.
I'm gonna say Meyer scores from Dahlin and I don't know, Middleton.
So
I don't know somebody. Yeah,
no, Brent Burns, he only scores ridiculous goals against the Wild. So
yeah, he did.
He had 2 last year.
He was the mayor of the Wild last year when he deked out like 6 dudes all at once.
They had too many guys on the ice. And
the goalie counts.
No, they're just throwing guys on there.
He just went through off the faceoff. That was sick. Hopefully he does that again. That was awesome. If you would like to drop us a prediction of the game, you can do that at Locked On Sharks on Twitter. If you would just like to tell us about William Eklund, you can do that at Locked On Sharks. We kept this pretty on the rails.
Yeah.
I think we got sad because we realized that they're probably going to lose against the Wild. I'm going to go back and listen to the pump up video, the preview video with Duel of the Fates and William Eklund saying, "Hi, guys," just like 50 more times tonight. We had the idea we made sure that we didn't tell anybody other than a select few people. I'm sure you told a couple people. I told a couple people. Couple friends of the show that I knew wouldn't tell. And then we tweeted out cryptically E5 on like Friday.
And everyone got really sad.
I don't know why. That was okay. Nobody got it. And then when the interview finally happened, we had come up with this idea that we were going to do like a little preview teaser, but I came with the idea that it should only be him saying hi. And then JD came up with this whole like, what if we put the saving the franchise thing at the beginning? And then all of a sudden JD's like, check out this video. And it was Duel of the Fates over top. We did debate doing Swedish national anthem.
Yeah. Which
also would have been funny. If you made an alternate clip of that, I kind of want to hear it. JD also considered the Halo music, which was too somber. Yeah. I thought of O Fortuna, which would have been good. It's very similar to Duel of the Fates. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we came up with a couple ideas. I'm glad that it went through and we kept it under our hats because that was a nerve-wracking like 4 days. Once it was actually scheduled, and it got canceled, it got moved around too, which was really worrisome to wake up to a text message where it's like interviews moved. So if you'd like to tell us how cool and smart we are for getting William Eklund on the show, you can do that at Locked On Sharks on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. We will see it. We will reply most likely, or at least just see your comment. YouTube, subscribe. Are we over 400 yet?
No, we're like 380, at least as of Sunday night. So yeah,
get more. Leave us a comment there. If you say anything bad, it will get scrubbed, and that's only for our enjoyment, which is still funny.
Yes.
Email, lockedonsharks@gmail.com. We checked this morning. No emails during the day. Thank you for your service, everybody. JD is at... Oh, no, wait. I keep forgetting to do this one. You can listen to us at Spotify. I was going to say Instagram. I'm sure you can listen to us on Instagram. Just little tiny pieces. We're going to put up this on our story, just 30 minutes. Spotify, Amazon, Apple, Stitcher, Anchor, car radios, boat radios,
Yacht
Rock with Kenny Loggins and Michael McDonald.
Yeah, it's actually just them just repeating what we said.
Yeah.
Who would play? Who are you? Are you Kenny Loggins or Michael McDonald?
I feel like I would be Michael McDonald because he was part of the Doobie Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
That's more my vibe.
I do like the Doobie Brothers, but yeah.
Do you? How old are you? Kenny Loggins did do the Top Gun soundtrack, though, did he not?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Kyle.
What?
Kyle. Danger Zone.
Who wants to watch some homoerotic volleyball scenes listening to Kenny Loggins? Because I sure do. Why are they wearing jeans? Who wears jeans to play beach volleyball? Then he goes to see the lady, and he's not even covered in sand. He's all sweaty. He just throws a shirt and his jean jacket on. He really smelled like ass when he showed up to her house.
He's all gristly.
Yeah, ew. He's got sand on him. Oh, get it together, Tom Cruise. Don't do Scientology, kids. This is what'll get you. Anyway, you can find JD at my fry hole and tell him how good his production value was on our preview tweet.
Kyle is at Kyle Demetrius, the star of the show. So
no, main character. I'm not the star. We're equal stars.
Yes.
I said main character. Get it. If you're going to insult yourself, get it right.
Okay. Thank you for making us your first listen. Go check out the Locked On Wild podcast, where I'm probably going to be on there at some point today. Maybe we'll see. So that's the plan, at least. Or Locked On Fantasy Hockey, or the Locked On NHL, or whatever tickles your fancy. And we will catch you guys tomorrow with a breakdown of the Wild game. Hopefully we won't be too sad.
Shout out to Mrs. Eklund.